You can feel it. Investors in precious metals are nervous. In today's video, we're going to talk about silver, which is fighting with the 200-day moving average for dear life. We're going to look at the technicals. We're going to look at the factors influencing the silver price. Where will it go? And then, as the main course of this menu, I'm going to present to you one of my favorite silver stocks. If you're interested in mining stocks, that might be something for your watch list. Let's get into it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day. My name is Daniel Halmy, and today we're going to focus on the silver price first. I'll try to keep it short and to the point. And then in the second part of the video, I'll present to you one of my favorite silver mining stocks that might be interesting for your watch list. We have talked about it in previous videos. I told you we're going to use this time to build out our watch list, and in that concept I will present to you several gold and silver platinum companies that I find particularly interesting. Might not be interesting for you, but I will present to you the case why that is. So if you just come here for the silver analysis, fair enough, right? Nothing wrong with that. We're gonna have that run down in the next 3 minutes or so, and then you can just jump ship and enjoy your day and skip the mining stock that's gonna be in the second part of the video. I think you really want to see this stock, but to each their own. So, saw the Knicks game last night. That didn't go as planned. And that is kind of what gold and silver investors have been saying for weeks. Here's the silver price spot. And as you can see, we are hanging on for dear life with a 200-day moving average, the golden line that you see. We undercut it a little bit, but then regained it. Why did we regain it yesterday? The main reason for that was that the factors, specifically the dollar, the factors that influence the gold price actually weakened, which then strengthened the gold price and pulled up silver as well. So let's look. So we got to take a look at gold if we want to know what's going on with silver. So here's gold. As you can see, it looks worse than silver because we have already broken below the 200 significantly. We tested the uptrend and the Fibonacci retracement, that's the purple line you see here. It held so far, but we got to acknowledge the rebound has been weak in gold and silver. That's not great, right? If we look at gold here, and we cannot use silver because silver did not touch the 200 last time, but gold did. And as you can see here, last time we touched the 200, we got a big bounce off intraday. And yesterday, it's like a Smurf bounce. So that is not that impressive. That affects the silver price. But what is affecting the gold price? Obviously the dollar. Well, that was good news for the gold bulls. The dollar doinked off this resistance zone, which I've been pointing out for a long time. If you follow this channel, you're familiar with it. If not, hit the subscribe button so you are ahead of the market. So we doinked off this support zone. I think it's the 7th or 8th time where I've been doing this. And the Dixie pulled back a little, and obviously that took pressure off the gold price and therefore off the silver price. Same with oil, right? Doinked off the 50-day, moving back to support. Let's see what happens here. And then we got the bond market to finish it up. Same thing, really constructive structure. I pointed that out in videos in the past weeks. Moved up, now a small correction. Same with the 10-year here. But that is nothing where we can look at it and say, okay, that's a change of trend. So it's basically for gold and therefore for silver a short-term relief. And there's no way that silver is going to be able to decouple from gold, not in this market, meaning if gold just stabilizes, silver will go up, or if gold goes down, that silver will hold the 200 and then bounce off the 200. Now, in later bull markets, you have the decoupling of silver, where silver runs up more than gold, or even goes higher when gold only goes sideways. And you know the reasons if you follow this channel. It's the institutional short squeeze, these type of things. You have silver, which is the retail metal. You have the retail investors jumping on it. We saw it in January, all the crypto bros that all of a sudden jumped on the silver market. Yes, in these bull phases, that's what happens, but not in a bear phase. So, what do I expect will happen? I think we're going to fight with the 200 for a little bit. As you can see, we're basically forming a micro bear flag right now, right? We have this big drop from Friday, and we're now forming a micro bear flag, which would be completed if we close below the 200. That's when I expect the floodgates will open, and then we'll see the bigger sell-off. First target obviously would be these lows right here, around 61.50-ish. And we got to talk 50-ish because you will have a lot of front running in this correction, where people are bullish long term, so they will try to position themselves ahead of the exact technical lows or the exact technical zones. So that's why much better to work with ish in this case than with the exact numbers. Okay, so that's the silver situation. We're just gonna have to wait and see, and it's basically gonna be driven by what's happening with gold. And as I just showed you, gold looks much worse than silver. You do not break the 200-day moving average, and then that is all that happens afterwards. Even though we have an uptrend here, I still believe we're going to see a continuation of the waterfall sell-off. So with this, let's talk about mining stocks. And the first stock I would like to present to you is a silver junior producer. America's Gold and Silver. Again, if you follow this channel, you've been familiar with this stock. I've talked about it numerous times. It's one of my favorites. US ticker symbol, USAS. If you missed these previous videos, again, hit the subscribe button so you get in early, so you get ahead of the market. Full disclosure, I'm a shareholder of America's Gold and Silver for, I don't know, a year, 3 months or so. I met with management first time in Zurich last year. I was impressed, did my due diligence, bought in, got rewarded very nicely. But as you will see when we talk about the chart, the stock has pulled back significantly. So I want to start this series of me presenting to you different mining companies from different sectors. So senior producers, junior producers, developers, explorers, just to give you ideas for your watch list. And I'm going to keep those fairly short. We're going to just hit on the big plus points that I like about a company and the minus points, the risk factors that I don't like about a company. Nothing is perfect. Clearly not the New York Knicks and not even me. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what it is. So again, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these mining presentations that I do. These are not buy recommendations. I'm not your financial advisor. These are just ideas. And again, I'm going to keep those pretty concise because I want you to do your own research. Just don't listen blindly to people on YouTube that tell you about stocks. Do your own due diligence. But I'm trying to point out to you what I like about America's Gold and Silver. Again, shareholder, but no working relationship with them. Know the management, parts of them pretty well though. America's Gold and Silver has everything I like in a mining stock. And that's why I'm going to start off with this. So you get an idea of what my personal checklist is. Might be different for you, but my personal checklist. I, for example, do not like to invest in countries and regions with high geopolitical risk. I rarely invest in Africa. I rarely invest in projects in Asia. I'm okay doing Latin America, but you really want to handpick where you go. And unfortunately, we just saw that with La Silva. So America's Gold and Silver, first thing I really like, it's a junior producer. So it is profiting from silver right now. And boy, does it, as we're going to talk about in a second. The mines, plural, are in the US, made in the US. Again, if you follow this channel, I've been telling you since the start of this channel, the core driver of this commodity supercycle is the deglobalization and the reshoring of the commodity industry. And made in America will be the biggest driver of this. This is where we're going to make the biggest gains because these projects are going to get valued the highest. So their projects are in the US, perfect. They have the production growth that I like, meaning they're producing around, and last year they produced I think like 2.5, 2.6 million ounces of silver, and their goal is to get it up to 5, so a double. So if you believe in the silver price going up, as I do, and then you get a double in the production growth, at least that's what their goal is, you got a nice double whammy for higher share prices. They have an absolute top management with Paul Hewitt at the helm, who is one of the top turnaround specialists in the mining sector, and this is how he got to the project. Eric Sprott was heavily involved in the project with the previous management. Previous management mismanaged the Galena mine, that is their main project in Idaho. Then focused on a gold project in Nevada, completely blew up the company. Sprott stepped in, brought Hewitt on board, recapitalized the new company, and now they're turning around the Galena mine and they're doing a fantastic job with it. Actually, they're ahead of what they told me a year and 3 months ago in Zurich, which I like as well. I love execution. So this is the part that I really like. They're doing exploration, and the exploration has been highly successful. They have actually found, let me see if I can, here we go. And again, you can find the presentation that I'm showing you on the homepage of America's Gold and Silver. We're just using this as, visual, so to speak, support to my thesis and what I'm telling you, and also, let's face it, to help you not to have to look at me the whole time. So they have been doing exploration more aggressively than originally anticipated, and they have been very successful, more successful than anticipated, in finding new silver, copper, antimony veins with high silver grades. So that is excellent. They're increasing their resource as well. The exploration success I really like. We already talked about the production growth. And this leads me to the 6th point. Again, I told you we're going to go through this fast because I can give you like an hour and a half super in-depth analysis of the company, and afterwards you're not going to remember anything. So let's stick to 6 points on the plus side that I really like. Junior producer in the US, top management with a proven track record, always important in mining. Expected production growth, exploration success, and then the 6th one is this company is, because of its high silver grades and of being a premier silver producer, highly leveraged to the silver price. And I'm looking for this slide right now. So this is a great slide to know about, and that's, again, not my slide. It's America's Gold and Silver slide, but this is a really important slide, and I highly recommend that you take a closer look at it. And it shows you basically the percentile of the revenue of the junior and senior producers that come from silver. And as you can see on the far left, number one by far is Aya Gold and Silver. This is going to change. This is going to come down when they start producing from their next big project, because that is a gold and silver mixed project. But then number two, coming in at almost 80% of the revenue from silver, is America's Gold and Silver. So this play, this junior producer play, is highly leveraged to the silver price. So if you like the silver price to go up, as I do, I want to get in on junior producers that are highly leveraged to the silver price, so I get really the turbo effect. And what is interesting, if you have never seen a slide like this before, is what you kind of see in the middle part. And that is, if you look at the big names that everybody knows, Hecla, First Majestic, right? Pan American Silver, Kerr on the far right. Look how low their real silver exposure is. So these stocks going to go up because they're highly weighted in the ETFs, and these are the names that people know, right? But you look at the left side again. How many people know Aya? I've been talking about this for over a year, about this company. I love this company. Know the management, just talked to them in Zurich a couple of months ago. Outstanding company, right behind it, America's Gold and Silver. So this is what I want. I don't want a Kerr mining where silver makes up only about 20% of the revenue. Now, the high correlation to the silver price is also one of the risk factors for America's Gold and Silver, because that means if silver goes down, then probably the shares of America's Gold and Silver are going to get hit harder than some of the other mining stocks because of the high correlation to the silver price. But that gives us the chance then to buy it on the cheap if this is something that you are interested in. The other two risks is really the high ISEC costs, so the high production costs that I would like to see come down, and that will happen with the increase in so the optimization of the Galena mine, the turnaround going forward. And then obviously you increase the production, then you will get lower sustaining costs. But right now, as you can see here, they're around like $30 to $35 an ounce. I would like to see that come down. But really, interestingly enough, the main problem that America's Gold and Silver has is that a turnaround producer story is not really sexy for the market. And if we talk about silver, silver is a market where you have a lot of retail. Now, America's Gold and Silver, and we're going to switch to the chart now of America's Gold and Silver. This is $1 billion company now. And here you see the chart of America's Gold and Silver. And let me zoom out till the beginning of 2026. Obviously, retail participation always helps, even for a company with a market cap of around 1.6 billion US right now. But again, turnaround story in a junior producer, that's not as sexy as like an Abra Silver, which is exploring this potentially district scale huge silver project in Argentina. So you need the execution results. That is the main driver, the execution of the turnaround, and then proving that the mine is bigger than anticipated so far, because it's a fine silver mine, very much so, but it's nothing, again, it's not a huge silver mine in the mind of investors. Now, the exploration results show it's clearly much, much bigger than the market thinks right now, which is great for us because that gives us potential in profits if we like to get in on the company. But that is really their problem. The story at this point in the market is not really sexy. But if that's the biggest problem I have, then I'm in great shape with the company. Because there's an old saying in the market that says, short-term hype always beats fact, but facts always prevail long-term. And America's Gold and Silver could be a prime example of this. Now, let's take a look at the chart. Broke the 200. Again, if you just saw the silver price, then you know silver's still around the 200, right? America's Gold and Silver already broke it. This is what I mean. Highly, highly correlated to silver, highly leveraged silver play. So that's why America's Gold and Silver has been going down more. We are pretty much at the uptrend that started in April 2025. So Trump Liberation Day, where he liberated us all. If we lose this uptrend, then obviously we would retest the lower end of the support zone. Let me zoom out so you see what we're talking about here. All right, this one goes way back. So price is around $4. That could be an interesting entry price. That's about 100% higher to where I got in, which again is like a year and 3 months ago. But here's the important part. The silver price, also 100% higher. So you really did not miss much with this stock if we get a sell-off correction, because you're basically you're buying a junior producer that's highly leveraged to silver, so it should go up more than silver, but the share price hasn't. It has basically done the performance of silver. So that is an interesting entry point if this is a stock that might be interesting for your watch list. That is it for today. Have a great day. We'll see us tomorrow. Bye-bye.